everyone on here has had an opportunity to attend the 1.0 class. So this really is designed to be the follow-up to the 1.0. So whether you attended it in person, if a session was offered at your office, or virtually, like we just said, there's been a lot of online trainings. I hope that's the case. If not, you can certainly tune in, but you definitely want to go back and kind of get those bases covered. So this is going to be the advanced guide to Moxi websites. We will be offering a 3.0 session for anyone who is just overly ambitious and wants to learn the ins and outs of Moxi. So that will be on Sales Pro. Right now, it's only going to be offered online, but we might eventually roll it out in offices down the road because obviously it's not going to be as relevant to everyone. So feel free to follow along on your computer if you have multiple screens. However, I will be sending the recording out with the slide deck, and it really does have step-by-step screenshots. So I will be presenting everything live from an actual Moxi account today, but the slide deck contains every single step of the way, so it should be really easy for y'all to follow. And feel free to unmute and ask any questions as they come up. So today we're going to be doing Moxi websites, like I mentioned. So if we were starting from scratch, we would start on desk, and then we would find that MoxiWorks tile. And then when we click into the MoxiWorks tile, we will always land on this roster page, right? And this is how we navigate between all of the different Moxi platforms. So we're going to go ahead and click on My Website. And we're essentially going to go through a lot of the functionality and features that we did not cover in 1.0 in this class. So to start, we are going to come over to Appearance, and you see when you hover over it, you have 3 different options. So we previously looked at the layout and colors, as well as our footer. So you should have already added in your TREC consumer protection notice, as well as your IABS form. But today I want to talk about the header. So when we go ahead and click into header, you're going to see there's a couple of different options for how the top of your website will display. So again, this is nothing too crazy, but you can take a look. The default one is going to be at the top, where the Coldwell Banker logo defaults to the left side of the page. However, you can obviously see there's a center, a left, and a slim style. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and come in and you can change these default header layouts. We also have a background color option. So this is a global luxury agent. So she has the black and white color scheme. If you're not a global luxury agent, you will see the navy blue color scheme in here. So you're able to actually switch whatever colors you want on the back side of your top header bar on the website. And then after you've selected the background color, of course, you want to make sure that the respective logo actually shows up. So if you have a light background color, you'll want the dark logo. If you have a darker background color, then you would want the light logo. And then lastly, for this step, I recommend keeping it as case sensitive. That just means that any font you see is going to show up exactly how you've typed. So if it's a capital T, it would be capitalized, and any lowercase letters will stay as is. So that's called title case, and that means it's case sensitive. So these are just a couple of other fun options you can play with. Anytime you make an edit after you hit the publish button, my trick here is to always click Visit Site in the top left corner. This is going to pull open the consumer-facing view of the website for you to actually see what your changes look like, right? So we have this white logo here with her navy background, but if on the header I wanted to change the background color to black instead, and then the text color would be white, we could do that. And then here, if I have the background color black, I would want to switch to this logo and hit publish. And now I can click on Visit Site, and we can see that change, right? So it just depends on what options you select, and then you can see your edits in real time and always toggle back. You'll notice there's 2 tabs now. One is the admin view, and what I teach in my 1.0 class is anytime you see the vertical black line, that means you're in admin mode where you can make edits. When you see this consumer-facing view, that black bar goes away, so you know that this is what a consumer would see. All right, easy enough? Perfect. So we're going to close out of these and come back to our editing mode. And now we're going to hop into home page. So we spent a lot of time in home page in the 1.0 class, but there were a couple sections we actually skipped over. So when we scroll down here, we come to the welcome text. So we showed y'all how you can go ahead and put verbiage in here, but what we didn't spend much time doing is talking about the other functionality here. For example, if I wanted an image to go above this text, you can see I added a line of text here, so I have a blank space, and I could click Add Media, and I could upload a file from my computer, or if I had already uploaded it, I could go to Media Library, and I would see any images here. So you can see we didn't have one, so we would need to select one from our computer and say this was our picture we wanted. We would open that, and it will load into our Moxi account. And in the bottom right corner, we're always looking for blue buttons in Moxi. So it's kind of hidden, but you would hit Insert into Post. And now I have my picture. Well, you can see this picture is pretty massive compared to the text. So this is something that's really important. When I come back up to the top and I click on my picture, you can see I get some options for editing. Here I'm going to hit the pencil so I can edit just the image. And now you can see I can display it left, center, or right. So I might want to left align it. And then the size is full size currently, which is way too big. So most of the time in the welcome section, medium is pretty sufficient for what we would be looking at. So I'm going to select medium and then hit update. And now it's much more reasonable. And now I can redirect this so my text comes beneath it. Right? So this is good. I've seen people put a family photo here to kind of personalize your page, a picture of your pet. Texas is very animal friendly. So if you have a really cute dog or cat, that's a great place to put that as well, or maybe another favorite property photo. However, if you want to take it to the next level, let's talk about the video functionality. So the video is, oh, sorry, Jim, do you have a question? You're still on mute.
Where does that go? Does that go like underneath the display picture? Like
Great question. Yeah, so on visit site, this is what's to the underneath the display picture and to the right of your contact info right here. So what I have highlighted, those were the 4 bullets that she had there.
Gotcha. So the picture would be right
Above
there,
it.
or the video would be above it there.
Exactly. So
Okay.
yeah, it just adds a different layer of dimension essentially to your site. Yeah, great question. So if I come back here and I wanted to put a video above it or just a video in lieu of it, this is where it's a little trickier, but nothing y'all can't handle. So we're in text mode, or we're in visual mode, right? Very simple. It's kind of like a Word document. In here, to get a video, we toggle on the right side to text mode. And you're going to see it kind of adds some funky characters in here, like at the top. That's called HTML code. And we don't have to worry about it, but we're essentially going to hit enter so we can add that same line of text up here to add our video above all of our normal text. Okay, so we're just in this text mode, and I would go and I have to find my video from YouTube. So it has to be hosted somewhere else. So maybe this is like an about you video that you film and then you put on your YouTube channel. However, I'm just going to grab one from, I went to the Caldwell Banker YouTube. Debbie says, how do you get to what you did? Click to text mode. Great question. So here, Debbie, I was in this view, which is like a Word doc. In the very far top right corner here, it has either visual or text. So what I did was I clicked on text and it changed that. And then we added in some space. So when I'm back on YouTube, I'm going to find this Global Luxury Notables video because I think that would be nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click share underneath the video. And then I don't want this link because that's not going to help me. I need to embed. So I click the embed button and you see all this funky code text comes up on the right. That's what we want. We're going to hit the copy button. So it's going to copy the code. And now when I'm back here, I can right click and hit paste. And it pops that YouTube code in. So I'm going to toggle back to visual tab. So see on the right, we were on text now. Now I click visual and you can see, ta-da, we've got our great video that populated in the welcome text section. Okay, so it's really easy. And what I tell you is, I just got this from Coldwell Banker's website. Like y'all could put in tech or videos, excuse me, on your other pages that aren't even filmed by you, especially if you don't feel comfortable in front of a camera. And so this is a really cool opportunity to add a video, and it's pretty simple as long as you know where to look. Okay, so any other questions on adding that video? Perfect. All right, so I'm going to look at all y'all's sites and see what they look like after this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to keep scrolling. We're still on home page, but what we're doing is we're covering the sections we didn't do in 1.0. So now we're on this custom search module section. So again, this is something we didn't cover. What you have to do, it's kind of a couple step process, but it's super awesome when you do it, is we're going to create a saved search, just like you would for a client, but it's going to populate on the home page of your site. So what I personally think is really cool is setting up a saved search for open houses that are coming up. That way, anytime someone lands on your site, they can see any open houses that are happening this weekend in whatever area you specify. So to do this, we have to go back to the consumer-facing view first to actually set up our search. And this is why when I send directions, it will be so helpful that you can just follow along. So I leave this page open, but I go back and I have, this is the consumer-facing view, right? This is what someone would see when they land on the site. And I'm going to use a search bar, and I'm, in my example, going to do all of Austin. So I'm going to type in Austin, and I'm going to hit search. And now it's going to pull up all of my search criteria that I can select. So it's really easy to do the open house one. At the top, I'm going to click filters. And here, there's an open houses section. So I'm going to tick the box for in-person open houses, and then I get some options. So it can be this weekend, this Sunday, today, tomorrow, etc. So I'm going to say this weekend. And I'm going to put open houses for single family, condo, and townhouse, right? Whatever criteria I want. And I just want active. I'm going to exclude pending. And I'm good, right? I don't want to set any other parameters. But maybe if you're a luxury agent and you want to keep the price point a little bit higher, you could sort and make sure they're all above a certain price point. Okay, and that would be that price drop down. So I'm going to hit apply, and you'll see now it's narrowed it down significantly to just 120 listings that have open houses this weekend. Okay, so this part is easy because I know y'all are very, very good at setting up safe searches. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to come to the very top of your screen, and you see there's a long URL with all sorts of crazy characters. We're going to do that. We're going to copy it. And we're going to come back to the editing view of here. And it tells us we want to do a custom search, but we haven't made a list. So I click this little button where it says create a custom search. And I'm going to go over here. And it tells you all the parameters. So I'm going to go in the big box and I'm going to paste. But down here, there's a tip, and it says the path must begin with search in a backslash. So I scroll to the very, very top of this box, and I find this word search with my slash. Can everyone see that I've highlighted it here in this text? Hopefully that's a yes. So, and it's not hard. It always comes after the name of your URL, right? Donlinear-CB United. So it's at the end. So we actually want to delete everything in front of that word so that our character sequence starts with that word search. Okay, so I found it. It's highlighted in blue, and I'm just going to hit delete. So now it's exactly how they want it down here, up here. Okay, so not hard. You just have to identify where it is. And now this is my title. So I'm going to say open houses this weekend, if I can type. And I'm going to hit save. Perfect. So you see up at the top, it tells me the search has been updated, which is exactly what we want. Now I'm going to go back to my home page. And I'm going to scroll down to that custom search section. Now, if y'all have been looking closely, now it has a drop down for me and it says open houses this weekend. Because I first had to set up my search parameter and save it as a search, now the system knows that I have that saved and it gives me the option. If you had multiple, you would choose between which one you wanted to show here. Debbie says, can we do more than one area and have them labeled? So Debbie, are you thinking like open houses in Austin and another one says open houses in Round Rock? Is that kind of what you were thinking? And have two separate searches? So on the templatized version of the homepage, you cannot. But what I would say, Debbie, is when you do your search, just do like the most broad area. You could do like Buda to Salado or Georgetown or something for your wide search if you're using this. However, in the 3.0 class, I will teach you all how to do a completely custom homepage where you could have multiple different saved searches like that. Okay, so bear with me, but we're going to just start with one before we move on to the rest. And now we've got it saved, right? So what I'm going to do is I want to show y'all. So I'm going to make sure I hit publish at the bottom. And this is my favorite thing about this, how easy it is. Again, I have visit site at the top and I want to see my changes in real time. So I had this featured properties already. And it didn't save my name because I'm silly and I forgot to tell y'all a step. But you do see that the open houses this weekend, right? It says see more listings and they pull in. So what we need to do is we need to go back and I need to fix it. So back on homepage. And this is the actual text down here, right here that shows, and I forgot to update that. So again, that's another tip for you. You already named it one place, but you actually have to name it two different places. So this is what the consumer will see, open houses this weekend. And now when I hit publish and I refresh my screen, we will see that updated. There we go. Open houses this weekend. Ta-da! Okay, so pretty really stinking cool. And if you farm an area and you just wanted to put that on there, you could just do active listings. It doesn't have to be open houses. But I do think it's nice that someone could always look and see those open houses on there. Any other questions on that? Debbie's typing one in chat. All right, while she's typing that, I'm going to keep going. So we're still on home page. And again, we're covering the sections we haven't done yet. So next we have a blog module. So if any of you were used to paying for InTouch Pro because you had access to the blogging feature, this is now complementary with Moxi. So that's one big benefit to me is you have a blog functionality. So it will auto-populate your blog posts on the homepage of your website. However, you first have to go to these blog posts on this black bar on the left in order for them to display on the homepage. So that's something that's pretty self-explanatory, but just know you get it for free now, which is awesome. And then we get to our links module. So what you can do is you can add a couple of different hyperlinks on the homepage of your website, and it will be called useful links. So what I've seen agents do here is if they've been published or won an award or something and they're on a third-party website, you could put that on there, right? If you had an article written about you or something cool. Or you could link your social media. So maybe you're going to have it listed other places, but maybe you want to say Talia Vandervelden's Facebook, Talia Vandervelden's LinkedIn, Talia Vandervelden's YouTube. Whatever that may be, it'll have text with a hyperlink. So that's what this links module is. What you do is you click on Manage Links, and then you have to add a new link. So they're just like little listings. So when I click on Add New, this is the name of the link. So I could say Talia's Facebook page if I wanted to link here. And then you simply paste the URL. If you want a description, it will be shown when someone hovers over the link. And then you can do categories if you want. So those aren't as important, but maybe you do a new category and it's called social, and then all of these specific links would show up on there. Okay, so let me just do an example. So we'll just link to facebook.com in this example. So I paste that in, and then I say add link. And now when I visit my site, we keep scrolling. See how useful links showed up on the left. So this was not visible prior to this. And now when I hover over, it's Talia's Facebook page, and I could click and it's going to open Facebook. Okay, so pretty easy. I'm going to go back and delete this because we don't want her to have that. And you can see again, I'm in the link section, how easy it is to delete or edit. So we'll just delete that. Easy peasy. Again, none of these are required. They're just added customization options. And then Debbie's question about the open houses, it updates before each weekend. Yes, so the open house will update each weekend with the new fresh ones that are coming up. And then no open and new window needed. That's a great question, Debbie. So great question. Target, I failed to mention this. You saw when I did it that it took me off the website and it opened Facebook in the same tab. We probably want to keep them on your website and just have them open whatever the link is in a new tab. And that is controlled at this target section at the bottom. Excuse me, I just rearranged it. But you can click and drag, which is cool. So if we want to say blank, which is this top one, it will open in a new window or a new tab. So I highly recommend choosing that so we don't completely lose them from your site, because that's the most valuable place. So Debbie is coming in clutch with the great questions. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, so we're back on the home page. Just leave, we don't need those changes saved. And we are going to keep scrolling. So we did welcome text, we did our custom search module, we talked about blog and links. Our very last section is actually called featured video. Okay, so featured video is exactly what it sounds like, and it's a great opportunity to show a video that you have. So again, maybe you don't want the video to be up at the top next to your contact info. Maybe you want a big video towards the bottom. What we can do here is the exact same process we did before. So if I come to the text tab, right, we talked about toggling. It's blank right now because I didn't have any verbiage in there. And I want to do a cool video about something from Coldwell Banker because I think that would be cool. So this dream campaign is new, so I think that would be really awesome. So I'm going to click share. I'm going to click embed, just like we did before. I'm going to click copy. And now I've got this dream video copied, and I come back to the home page and I click paste. And now we still only see the text. So I want to toggle to the visual tab on the right, and I want to make sure that my video is in there. And you can see it is. So that's the last section on homepage. So I'm going to hit publish. And after my screen refreshes, I'm going to hit visit site so we can take a look. So again, this top area is the welcome text, which can also have a video. But we went down and we were under featured videos. So ta-da, you can see now it's actually called featured video, though you can change the name. And you have it automatically here next to our nice up-to-date mortgage rates. So my challenge to you is there's no reason all of you can't add a featured video, because that can be about anything Coldwell Banker or real estate related. And there's plenty of options to choose from on the Coldwell Banker YouTube. So I'm going to drop the YouTube channel in chat for y'all to get to the Coldwell Banker YouTube. And Debbie has some other great questions. So she said she downloaded all of her listing concierge property videos. That's a great question, Debbie. You can add or upload your own MP4 video, right? Instead of linking to YouTube, you can actually upload the video file. However, what I will tell y'all is Moxi can only handle a 10 megabyte video or smaller. So if it's a really big video file, it's best to host it on a YouTube channel. So Debbie, what I would do is if you have those YouTube videos as MP4s, or excuse me, if you have the listing concierge videos, you would put that on your own YouTube channel and then you can link from there and not ever have to worry about losing it because it's on your own YouTube channel. And she said she'll link them to your YouTube. Perfect. And then Kristen says, can you have a featured video and a useful links list? Yes, you can. You can fill in every single section. Perfect. All right, y'all. So before we segue into the next category,
Hey, Ty,
I
real
want
quick. I
sure.
think I don't know, I must have missed a step. Like I got the video loaded on there, but then it's like on my when I upload it onto my web page, it just shows the words to the link.
So did you change to the text tab instead of the visual tab right here?
Yeah, when I put the link in, yeah.
And now did you grab, when you found the video on YouTube
Yeah.
and you hit share, did you click embed?
Oh, no, I didn't do that.
That's the biggest, yeah, the trickiest
I
part.
forgot.
You cannot just grab this link. You have to click embed because we want that funky HTML code.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Great questions. I'm sure everyone will run into the same. So perfect. Okay, so we've talked about everything on the home page so far. So if y'all can bear with me, this is some other fun stuff. We're going to migrate over to our site pages. Now, site pages are all the additional pages except for that home page. And everyone has been on here before because we showed you how to toggle them on and off. But I want to tell you about some really cool templates that we have that are already made for you with a nice layout so you can add additional pages. All right, so everyone should have all these same pages on here, right, that come with your website. As a reminder, anything on the far left, like home, properties, buying and selling, etc., those are the menu items that go across the top of your website. Anything indented beneath it is going to be a page dropdown from that menu item. So under properties on the top, these are the dropdowns that show up. Okay, but say there's other additional content you want to share with the world that's not already on this list. What we do is we're on site pages and we click add new in the top. And then you see we have a few different dropdowns for what we're wanting to add. So today we're going to be learning about custom pages and we hit submit. Okay, so right now you're not going to know what your page is that you're about to add, right? Because you're not sure what your options are. So I will always just name this a test. So that's the name for now. And I'm going to hit save because I never want to lose my work. So save draft is on the right. And now anytime you're working in a page, there's what's called builder mode. So this is going to be your best friend when you're editing your site. So see, it's kind of grayed out. It says builder and it's a little tab down here kind of on the top left corner. So when I click that, it's going to take a second, but it's going to load in another view that's much more user-friendly for editing. Okay, so this is a little overwhelming, but don't be alarmed. We want to find a template for our web page. So up here, I'm going to find this templates dropdown. And you'll see there's some really cool designs that default here. And then you'll notice there's another dropdown. So we actually have 4 different categories of templates to kind of drill down to. So the first one are the ones Moxi Works created. The second one are what's called landing pages. So that's more designed if you have like an event or you're running a digital ad that you want them to land on a very specific page. Content pages, these are just kind of a typical page. So it could be things like your team page, a contact us page, a services page, etc. And then brand templates is what I really want us to focus on today. These are made by the brand. So think of Coldwell Banker made brand templates because they're our brand. So I'm going to click on those. And you'll immediately notice the color scheme on all these pages is the Coldwell Banker blue, right? So you can tell we've designed them at Coldwell Banker. And we have a number of different types of pages. So the little title is listed beneath it. And some of them are just really cool different layouts for you where you have to add your own content. And if you keep scrolling down, there's even ones that are pre-made from kind of top to bottom, such as Join Us. So this page would be if you wanted to try and recruit some agents to join Coldwell Banker from another brokerage, it would be nice to have a page on there. Not to mention you get a referral, a 2-to-1 referral if you bring people on. So that's always a really good page to add, right? But what I'm going to show you is selling your home. So this is one of my favorite ones because it's completely done for you. So see how it says template, selling your home. So I'm going to click on this. And here it's going to take a second to load. But I just always want to, before I publish a page, I want to see what's on it, right? Before the world can see it. So we have this nice image, selling your home. We scroll down. It talks about Coldwell Banker and the #1 brand online. It has these great categories of the process of selling a house. It has a nice video and a contact button. Okay, so this one is done for you, right? I think it looks phenomenal. It's really clean. And so if I wanted to change anything though, when I'm hovering over a section, I could say local Austin area market knowledge, right? I just type everything in my text box and I hit save and now it updates here. We can even change it. This is just like a Word doc. So maybe I want expertise to be bolded and local Austin area market knowledge. I just use these same keys that you would use in a Word doc and I hit save. And now it did not work. So I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on with my formatting, but anyway, it's supposed to update on there. So when we're done making all of our changes, and I'll look into why that didn't fix, we would hit done in the top right corner. And now I have the option to just save it as a draft or publish it. So I'm going to hit save draft because if you'll remember, the title of my page is test. Well, now that I know I'm writing a page about selling your home, I need to come back here and I need to say edit page. And now I can fix my page name. So up here, I'm going to name it selling your home. Oops. And one thing I want to fix is this link. So it used my original verbiage of test, and I don't want that. So I'm going to change the link to say /selling your home and hit OK. So now that I fixed all of that, all I have to do is hit publish, and this site or this page will be live on this agent's website. And you can even see it says page published, and I can click view page. All right, so this is the view of the page.
But where
that
did we put that? Where did that go on your page? Like, is it?
Great question. So see in the menu bar, we changed the header. See how selling your home, that's now one of these options at the top. So that would be how if you landed on the home page and under more, it's under selling your home. So that leads me to a great point, Jim. So I'm going to click admin home because I want to get back to my editing view. And I don't want selling your home to be a menu item on the top. Like to me, that's maybe silly. So I'm going to come to site pages. And I'm going to scroll to the very bottom where selling your home is. And I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag it under the buying and selling page. So maybe I want it to be second. So y'all saw how easy that was, which is awesome. You can drag them around. So we have buying and selling is now the menu item, and then buying and selling tips, and then selling your home. And now I'm noticing the capitalization is different, right? So I just click on edit under the selling your home, and maybe I want to make the Y and the H capitalized, and then I hit update. So now we've used the Caldwell Banker template and all their hard work, and I very easily popped it into my website. Okay, so let me show you one more. So we're going to go back to site pages, add new, custom page, submit. Call it test again, save it. And as soon as we launch our builder, this time when we go to brand templates, we have a buying a home page. So we just did selling, now let's do buying. So it has the home buying process, find out what you can afford, contact me. This looks phenomenal, but maybe I want more. Maybe I want to add another element to the site. What I can do is I can click this blue plus sign in the top right corner. And instead of templates, I'm going to go to modules. And now you can see there's a bunch of different options for things on here. So maybe I want to add a testimonial from a buyer to populate on my home buying page, right? That's just an idea. Y'all could do whatever you want. Here I have to click and drag it. It seems counterintuitive, but see, as I move it, this blue horizontal line shows up. Right now it's going to be across the full page. If I pull it down here, now it's only showing up on part of the page. So depending on where you put it, it's what confinements it has. So I would want mine full page. So I would drop it here. And then now I can add a testimonial or edit a testimonial, and I could type it in here. Talia is amazing, right? And hit save. So these are different than your other testimonial page. And you can even have them slide. You can see there's transitions. You can change the text style, etc. So we're going to just keep it simple for now and hit save. And now you can see I have my Talia is amazing slider of my testimonial. And as I add more, they would just flip through on their own. So pretty cool, isn't it? So what I want to do is I'm going to remove this because this is someone else's website. And y'all can see how easy it is, right, to get rid of sections. So I don't know what this is, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to hit OK. And now it looks great. So same thing, we're going to hit done. We're going to hit publish. And then I need to edit my page to rename it to buying a home. And I change this here. So my URL matches. And then this time I can hit update. And then under site pages, I'll just drag it again so it's back under that section. So buying a home will be here. Selling your home will be here. And then we're going to hit publish. Okay, so I'm going to share one other cool section. So we just showed y'all in that little drop down all those cool rows you could add in modules that were like testimonials, images, a map, etc. Well, Caldwell Banker has a number of different what we call modules that are specific to the company. So if y'all have been paying attention, we have a new move meter on caldwellbanker.com that lets people compare two different cities in the country in terms of cost of living, jobs, education, etc. We also have a CB estimate tool where they can actually request their home valuation, and it's super accurate. So there's a lot of really cool functionality that our Caldwell Banker website has that we want you as agents to get to use. So I know I've told you so much information now, but I would argue this is possibly the coolest thing I'm going to teach you today. So if you can bear with me, it's pretty awesome. So what we have to do is we have to save them to our account first to be able to access them. And then I'm going to show you how to actually put them on your website. So it is a two-step process. First, we have to kind of like download them all from Moxi, and then we can put them on the website. But it's kind of a funky way to download it. And so that's why I say you got to watch closely. So what we're going to do is we're still in Site Pages, and we're going to click Add New. And we want to say Custom Page, just like we've been doing, and then Submit. Now we're going to end up deleting this page. It's just a way to get our modules. So I'm going to call it Modules, and I'm going to hit Save Draft. It doesn't matter what you call it because, like I said, you'll be deleting it. And then just like we did before, I want the Builder tab at the top. Okay, so we're very familiar with this screen, right? I did a few examples. So we're going to still go to Templates. But this time from the dropdown, when we pick Brand Templates, see there is the first one that shows up on the left is called Module Library, which is a very weird name for a page. And that's because it's not meant to be a normal web page. This is where it houses all those cool features that you have to save to your account to then use. I know it doesn't really make sense as to why, but it says do not publish this page to your website because it's meant to just be a place where you grab the content so you can use it on your own website. Okay, so what we do is we scroll down and you find each section. So I referenced a CB estimate. See how it says get an instant estimate on your home. It has a place to put in their address, a great picture, etc. This whole section of the white, right, between the blue sections is all the CB estimate section. And this section could be added to any page on your website, which is pretty awesome to me to have, and you don't have to do anything fancy to do it. Okay, so what we do is we find the top of this big section. So see how there's a blue horizontal bar that shows up when I get up here? That's the very tip top of this CB estimate section. So when I hover over it, there's a little wrench where it says row settings. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click Save As. And it's going to ask me to name this. So I'm going to call it CB Estimate with white background. Here's the catch. They have the functionality in different designs. So this one has a white background, but we might see a CB estimate here that has a blue background later. And I need to know what this is. Okay, so I need to be very specific. It's an internal name. And then I leave global as no. And then I hit save. So what that did is it saved this CB estimate section to my Moxi account. So I'm going to scroll down. See, there's a few different designs for CB estimate. And I'm going to find this move meter. Oh, wait, Jim, you're muted again. I just see you talking.
Thank you. On the row settings, where do you get the name at? It just comes up style, effects, background particles, and advanced.
So you want to hit save as, and then you can name it yourself.
Okay.
Just hit that save as button in here, and then it'll say, what do you want to name it? Great question. So we'll do that again. So I want this move meter. And so see how I find the horizontal line above this section. And I'm going to hit the wrench. And then I don't do anything on the pop-up except hit save as. And then I'm going to call this one move meter with white background. And then I hit save. So Debbie says, can you change the picture? Yes, you can, depending on what it is. So like this one with the move meter thing, you couldn't change it because it has all this text on top of it. These people, see how this is all one image, so you couldn't change these people. So some of them you can, but most of them on this section, you couldn't change them. So you'll want to scroll through and find one where you like the picture. Now these people are just a picture. They don't have any text on top, so you could change them, if that makes sense. Can y'all tell the difference of what I'm saying? Of this is just a picture by itself right here with these two people. And if I scroll up to the people with the dog, they had other stuff on top of it, so you could not swap that out. So hopefully that answers Debbie's questions. Okay, so for y'all, you would come through and you would look through this entire page because there's tons of cool stuff, right? The seller's assurance program is awesome. Buyer modules, there's a bunch of sections, Real Sure program. Like you want to get all of this stuff because it's awesome content. Okay, but I don't have time to walk y'all through all of that. I'll do one more. This is Spotlight Marketing Program. That's Listing Concierge. So I'm going to click on the wrench. I'm going to click Save. I'm going to say Listing Concierge, blue background, and I'm going to hit Save. So when you're done saving all of these, you're going to hit the Done button in the top right corner. And then I'm going to hit Save Draft, just like we did before. And then I need to edit the page because this is my draft of a page. So see at the top, I have Edit Page button. And now we're back on this view where it says modules. I don't need this page, like I mentioned. This was my only reason for doing this was to save those modules. So now they're saved somewhere else. So I'm actually going to hit Move to Trash because I don't want that on my website. Okay. So that was all step one. I know it sounds like a lot. So let's move on to step two. So let's go to a page. So I'm going to go back to Site Pages. And I'm going to show y'all, Debbie's like, wow, that's so much. I'm going to show y'all how to actually add this somewhere. So let's go to this selling your home page we made earlier. So hopefully everyone can see selling your home. I found it on my screen and I'm going to click edit. And then like I told y'all, Builder is our favorite tab ever. So we're going to click Launch Builder. Sometimes you just have to click the word Builder. It just depends. And we're going to see this really cool page. But if you recall, I added the Listing Concierge section as a module, which is the perfect thing to add to a selling your home page, I think, right? So let's say I wanted it right here. So I want to make sure I see exactly where I want it to go in my screen. I'm going to have it go between the top picture and this white section about attracting buyers. Okay. So now what I need to do is I click this plus sign like we do every time to add something new. And this time under rows, I'm going to go to saved rows. And you see all four of these that I saved. Remember, I called it Move Meter with white background. I called it Listing Concierge blue background, CB Estimate white background. So these all show up. Anything that I saved will be here. So it's under rows, saved rows. And if you can't find it, you just hunt around until you do. And I'm going to grab my Listing Concierge and I have to click it and I have to drag it where I want it, just like the other stuff. So now I have it dragged and you see I can, again, that blue bar shows up and it lets me pick where I want it. So I want it to go right here. So I'm going to drag it and let go. And now you can see my Spotlight Marketing Program. It's awesome, right? So now I have this whole section in here and it just complements everything else on my page. And it's perfect because now I have like a picture, then I have a blue background, then I have a white background. So visually it's very appealing. So I don't know about y'all, but like it's a couple of steps, but now my website, I didn't even have to come up with content because Coldwell Banker already made it for you. So once you master it, you'll be doing this super fast and you only have to save those little rows one time. So now I could add Listing Concierge to a different page on my website and it will already be in there and saved for me and I just drag it in. Okay, so it's a little bit of upfront work. I recognize that and I know it might be frustrating, but once you get it in here, it will just be phenomenal looking. All right, so I'm going to hit done. And then I want to publish because I don't want to lose all that hard work I just did. And now when I come to Coldwell Banker on the home page, I can hover over buying and selling and I can go to selling your home. And this awesome page has come up and I didn't have to type a single thing, right? So I think that's pretty darn cool to have an awesome page like this. Okay, Let me pause and see if anyone has any questions. I see Debbie typing in chat, so we'll see what she's got.
Well, since no one, yeah, while we're waiting for her, I somehow am still missing that whole module thing. I couldn't find the save when I went in and did it again, and I don't know what I did wrong, but.
Okay, let's go back real quick. So,
Also, I have a question. I have a colleague that was asking, is there going to be some kind of concierge service that will be available to kind of help with this?
That's a great question. They are talking about it. I just don't know the timeline on rolling it out. So for sure down the road, I will tell you, like, even if you didn't attend this class and you just did the 1.0, your website would still look really good. So I wouldn't feel too much pressure, but hopefully we'll have an option for you soon where you could pay someone to kind of help with it.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Okay. And then Debbie, I'll answer your question 1 second. So Jim, so you went to site pages. And then we did add new page, custom page, submit. And we'll call it test, save draft. And then you went to the builder tab. And then here we do templates. And then instead of Moxi Works templates, we want brand templates. And then you found module library. Okay.
That's where my expertise ended.
You stopped here. Okay. So right here, in between this top dark picture and the white for CB estimate, you're hovering over so you can see this blue line right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit this little wrench for row settings. And then you get this row settings pop up.
Yeah.
And then
but
did
for
you
some
do
reason,
save
I don't
as?
see like I don't have the save thing. It just says like it's a big page. It opens up really big, not small like yours.
Maybe try dragging in the corner of this. See, these can be adjusted big or small. I wonder if yours is stuck. And if not, if you want to hang around after class when everyone hops off, I'll help you. But this is helpful. I'm sure other people are having it. Just know you can expand and whatnot, and maybe control minus on your keyboard or control plus can kind of change your view. And sometimes it'll block different functionality on your computer. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll follow up.
We'll follow up. Thanks.
No problem. So I'm going to discard this. All right. All good questions. Debbie, I'll follow up with you after too. So let's get back to this back end, the navigation. How many of y'all are on Teams? Is anyone on a team that's on this call? Let's see, I know about half of you, and I don't think anyone that's on this call is on a team. Okay, well, we'll skip that part. But there is a cool way to add team members, and I'll just tell you all about it. It will automatically pull in their bios, and then you can do one team page where you talk about your entire team. And then you can give your teammates editing rights to your website. So I think that's kind of a nice functionality because then they can make tweaks if they need to on your website. All right. And then the last thing that we want to do is always make sure our site is activated. So you should have done this in your first 1.0 class, but I just will always reiterate it. So we're back on home in the top left corner. And here, when I scroll to completing your site activation, on number 1, you want to click go there. And you always want to make sure this bottom box that says discourage search engines from indexing, you want to make sure there's no check mark. Okay, so if you see a check mark, it means that your website is hidden from the world right now. So to uncheck the box and hit save means now the internet has released your website to the world to show up in search and things like that. So that's a really, really important step, is to make sure this is not checked. And we get a lot of questions, one more time to reiterate, about what my new URL is for my website. So you can click on Visit Site. And now you see at the very top what your new website name is, okay? If you own your own website name, we will be sending out instructions on how to make that go to this website now that you've got your website up and live. But if you need to know in the meantime, or you don't own a website name, this is where you see what that is up there. Whew! I hope y'all feel a sigh of relief. We covered so much stuff today. I'm going to hit stop recording.